And welcome back to Breaking Point 2, Part 4 on F1 2023. Or I guess F1 23. I always forget about that. Anyway, we are going to continue from where we left off last time, which was the Bahrain Grand Prix, where Devin Butler, us or me driving as Devin Butler, took him to the top, won the race to start the season. So obviously a great way to kick off the 2023 campaign. But there is trouble brewing, and we will get to that here. Alright, we will go right to the next chapter. Australian Grand Prix. A strong start to the season for Konnorsport has the team in high spirits as the paddock heads to Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. Alright, got a news article here. Talking about Callie Mayer. Going to the different social media. Got some emails. Car performance. Yes, this is a funny thing. So, there was a running story where, or I guess sort of a background thing where Aiden Jackson had been bidding on a pair of Nigel Mansell racing gloves, and they ended up getting scooped up by a mysterious buyer that ended up being Devin Butler. So that's funny. And that email is certainly ominous. Solid performance qualifying has the team in a good position at the Australian Grand Prix.
Here comes Butler. Good pace here down the straight. Into the corner we go. That's a little too late, and he nearly goes off the track on the exit. And is that a lapse in concentration?
I think just a little bit of desperate driving there, Crofty. He's pushing way too hard. I mean, there's nobody else around him at this stage.
Okay, Devon, we're going to have to ease off on the brakes. brakes don't feel right. Okay, we'll have a look at it, but you're going to see a drop-off in performance, I'm afraid. What? Why? We've asked you to take it easy on the last lap, but pushing has made the issue even worse, so we're just going to have to live with it for now. What are you talking about? Listen, just do what you can, please, Devon. Come on. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 4.1 seconds. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 3.0 seconds. That's just 5 laps of fuel remaining. gap to the car in front is 4.5 seconds. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Come on, you can win that place back. And that's P9, 9th place, well done. Okay mate, this is the final lap of the race, final lap. Gap to your teammate behind is 5.2 seconds. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Look, this isn't the first time we've seen Devin Butler go rogue, but the question is, what are Konnorsport going to do about it?
Well, it's really hard, as we've seen so many times before, Crofty, in the past. So hard to control your drivers. In a way, they're their own entity, but on the top of it, they're working for the team, and that's what you want. Very hard situation to manage.
And working for the team, Kasper Ackerman wanted to make a clean break for this year. This does feel, though, that it's something that they might have had to have dealt with last season.
It's really not what they wanted. A repeat of what happened in the past, and you cannot let it go on. Can't continue. They're just damaging the reputation of the team and their own reputation as well. They have to sort it out. I'm sure they'll be having words.
So it's all changed here in Australia, and as the teams acclimatised to their new standings, so will we. Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Now, Devon, you didn't respond to a team order today. In Hungary last season, you said it was a comms issue, but Konnorsport claimed they didn't know what that issue was. So, are they hiding something? What's really going on here?
Look, anything I say is going to be taken out of context. So I'd rather not fuel that kind of speculation. I'll debrief the team, and we'll figure out how we can stop it happening again. That's all there is to it.
Devon, you finished the race with a compromised car today. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was tough out there. I mean, I love this track. You know I can do well here, and it's frustrating to deal with anything that slows me down. You know, I didn't like it, and the team didn't like it.
Now, some have been saying that you do get preferential treatment because your father funds the team. What do you say to those allegations?
That always strikes me as really odd, like as if the only reason that I'm fast on the track is because my dad funds the team. You know, how is that an explanation? It's ridiculous.
So how do you expect Konnorsport to perform this season, based on your performance so far?
They got me, haven't they? So, yeah, I expect us to do pretty well. If they can sort out the car this time around, I'll get them all the points their little hearts desire.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. Great to have your time.
So that's chapter, I guess, 7 or going into 8. But regardless, promising start turned into a difficult end with Devon having to finish the race with a compromised car.
Could you take a look at this, please?
Developing the car. While some teams had to put in overtime to make it work, it looks like the early returns on this year's car proved that they were able to make strides during its development. Last year's mid-season upgrades also turned out to reduce required development of certain components this year. So it was worthwhile exercise, I guess they're referring to developing both last year's car and this year's car at the same time. Positive press attention surrounding our savvy decision making last year. Using our press answer there.
You nip this in the bud, Cass. Do you hear me?
Andreo.
Butler, what was that out there today? I will not have a return to last season. We are a team. He cannot be allowed to do just what he wants.
Just calm down, I have it under control.
Oh, this is Devon we're talking about. There is no control. He nearly lost the car, Casper.
But he didn't. You know what it gets like out there. I'm sure there's an explanation.
Or an excuse.
And we'll find out. I'll be racing it at the debrief, okay? So I'll report back to you.
Okay, hang on. Look, I've got to go. I've got Davidoff on the other line.
Of course you have. Enjoy.
All right. Just reading through here. Email. Alright, going through all that. On to the next chapter.
Oh, it's a big deal when one of your drivers decides to do their own thing. So I called him out on it at the next team meeting.
And what was Devon's reaction?
Well, he denied the whole thing. Blamed it on a comms fail.
Which I thought was strange. The same thing happened the year before when I was principal, and he gave the exact same excuse.
Everything's really starting to come to a head here. As we now head to Imola, with 2 races in as many years now impacted by communication issues involving Devon, Konnorsport management have started to ask questions. As the grid heads to Imola, Casper looks for clarity from his driver.
Yeah?
You wanted to see me?
There he is. You're a difficult man to pin down. Right, I'll cut right to the chase, Devon. Tell me what's happening.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's not just disregarding team orders. Paddock talks. People are saying you've been distracted, that you're ignoring them completely. Now, my job is to make sure the team works smoothly, like clockwork, so I'm just trying to work out what's going on.
I told you, check the comms.
Yeah, the comms are fine, Devon. We checked. What's going on?
Nothing.
Just cut that out. Show me some respect now.
Okay. I heard the order. All right? You happy?
Why ignore it?
I'm feeling it, Cass. The pressure. Paddock gossip these last couple of months.
Oh, come on. You're Devon Butler. You are the paddock gossip.
You've heard what they're saying, right? You've seen what they're writing. Driving on Daddy's money. It's making me second guess myself.
Okay. We can work through that. Start changing the team narrative.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, I'd like you to see someone from the medical team. Just to be sure. I've booked you in for this afternoon.
No, Cass. Look, I've got a race to prep for, okay? I need my head in the game. I'm fine.
I get that. That's fine. But I want you to see them straight after the race. Understood?
Yeah. Fine.
Well, things are happening, as they say. More articles here. Doing the usual look through social media. Alright, looks good. So let's go to the race. Mid-race. Feeling the pressure mount, Devon hopes a strong performance will divert the team's attention from any concerns about his health.
Devon, is everything all right?
Fine. Just leave me to it, yeah?
Okay, good work. Great pass. Our gap behind is 2.7 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 2.5 seconds. Top 10 now, keep it up. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.5 seconds. And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Devon Butler now. Oh, that's not good! Oh no! Devon Butler spins! He's out!
Oh, he just misjudges it and clips the curb. What a mess!
Devon Butler, with that move, is out of the race. He won't want to see that too many times. We want to see him out of the car, though. That's good news.
Big relief there, although he does still look a bit unsteady on his feet, Crofty.
Well, thumbs up to the crowd, but I'd imagine after that, he'll be quite shaken.
Hey.
I'm done, Casper. I'm done.
It's okay. It's okay. It was his hearing. He'd been keeping it from us. I think maybe he'd been trying to keep it from himself. I mean, he was at the height of his career. Yeah, what can you say?
How did you feel?
I was devastated. But, 5 years in F1. Can't argue with that. I mean, most people never even get the chance, so. And I was still one of the best while I was out there. You ask anyone.
How did you feel when Devon left?
How did I feel?
Well, the shoe has finally dropped with the revelation that Devin Butler's been having hearing problems that are serious enough that he's being forced to step away from Formula One, and as far as being a driver, that is. And now the team has to figure out what to do.
But if we are going to hit our targets, we need another driver. A permanent one. And fast.
But we are mid-season. It's impossible.
So, given the circumstances, do you think you can grant us a bit of leeway on the contract?
I have the projections. If Konnorsport doesn't reach 5th place in the Constructors this season, the returns simply aren't worth my time. That was always the deal. And it still is.
But with a little extra time, perhaps we...
Stop! The deal stands. And without Devon driving, there's now little of interest for me beyond the contract. It's just business.
There must be something we can do.
So, legacy is obviously important to you, Davidoff. As a father, I totally get that. So if Devon, your son, can't drive, how about your daughter? Why don't we give the seat to Callie?
No. California will not be signed to Konnorsport.
Why not? Just think of the commercial opportunities for the team that signs her, Forget legacy. Oh, you'd be making history.
And you'll be giving a phenomenal talent her first break into F1. It's the right thing to do. Come on, you know she deserves it.
The daughter who took her mother's name to spite me. she'll never say yes.
Why don't you leave that to me?
Contract still stands, Ackerman. 5th place, or I'm out next season.
One problem at a time, eh?
You gotta give it to Casper. He's an eternal optimist. F1 calendar waits for no one, while Casper and Andrea work to secure a permanent replacement for Devon. The team must turn its attention to the Spanish Grand Prix. Looking at some stuff here.
Andrea.
Have you spoken to her yet?
Yes, we've spoken.
And what did you say?
She'll be around this weekend. She agreed to come and see me.
You mean you haven't asked her yet?
Of course not. It's a delicate situation. I'm sure she has an idea, but... look, it's not just something you casually ask over the phone, is it?
Why not?
Come on. This is potentially life-changing for her. And the whole family situation needs to be handled with a little, care and respect.
Well, you're the one that knows her. Just make sure she says yes and fast. I'm finding it difficult to keep fielding questions about the future of Konnorsport.
Yeah, I read part of that interview. Could almost feel you squirm.
That bad, huh?
Worse. Look, I'll call you as soon as I know.
Alright. So Noah Bell is the reserve driver who will be Ian Jackson's teammate. Alright, socials. Alright, and given that it's just past midnight where I am at, I think this is a solid place to stop, especially knowing that I believe the Spanish Grand Prix is much like the Bahrain Grand Prix, where it's another full race. So yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. Another short one. And yeah, so we will continue this one down the road.